everyone. Welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Again, we are continuing our focus. Our entire show today is on domestic violence, education, and prevention. And I could not do a show like that without having Men Stopping Violence on the show. I'm here with Sulaiman. Thank you so much for coming back on Focus Atlanta.
Great to be here.
It's been way too long.
It's been too long. However, you're continuing to do the work, and that's what's so fabulous about this. You know, what we've learned over the years is that when agencies and institutions like the media and CW, for example, are doing the work that you're doing to create an awareness in the community, it makes all the difference, Keisha.
We hope so.
It does. I mean, knowledge is important. And the more we're informed, the better we're informed, the more apt we are to act and do when we see things happening.
I think that's what some of us feel in terms of the community. You know, if it's not happening directly to you, you don't know what you can do to help.
Yes.
So we want to get the word out and want to talk about this. Now, what I think is so fabulous about your organization is so often women only think of women when they think about preventing domestic or partner violence. Talk a little bit about Men Stopping Violence.
Well, Men Stopping Violence is a national training institute, okay? We focus on training organizations and individuals, giving them the strategies, the skills, the tools necessary to create safe communities for women and girls. And we do that on a lot of different menus. One is that we have a full training program where we go not only in the Georgia area, but we're nationally, we've been in over 44 states doing training. We've been in 4 countries outside of this. We've been in the UK, Morocco, Taiwan, Canada, Caribbeans, doing this work, educating and training agencies and organizations and individuals on what is necessary to bring men together to do this work. Because what we realize is that when men speak up, when men say that this kind of behavior is not acceptable, things change because of the voices and the power that we possess in the world.
Now, through your training, are you able to reach out to, because, you know, statistics now are so scary in terms of our teens and teen dating violence and things like that. Are you able to reach out to the young men?
Young men come into the fold sometimes when we're in the community talking and doing those kinds of things. And it's important that young men do get this message. What I've learned over the years is that young men are watching us. They're not coming up to me and they say, Sulaiman, tell me this, tell me that. But they're looking at me. How am I treating women? How am I showing up in the community? How am I responding to things? And they're constantly learning. That happens from boyhood all the way up through our lives. They're watching us.
You're right. So what can we do to help you? What are the needs of Men Stopping Violence in terms of volunteerism or finances? What can the community do to help you?
Well, as a nonprofit, of course, we can always use financial support, you know, and that's very simply just sending in support. We have a number of men who come to us who want to get into our educational programs.
Wonderful.
Sometimes because of the economy they're not able to afford it, to sponsor a man, to say that we are willing, an organization or individuals who say we're willing to sponsor men getting an education. Because what we know is that men change when there's an educational opportunity for that to happen. And because it's a behavioral issue, men need to be educated. So that's another way. We do have volunteers that come and service our program, and we are open to that possibility because we have a lot of things to do in the community and figuring out how do we better serve. And we're a small staff. So consequently, support is always good. But that financial support is so key, you know, in terms of the work that we do.
Well, let's close out with your website and or a phone number or anything in case someone wants to jump in right now.
Well, it's menstoppingviolence.org. The phone number is 404-270-9894. And the last piece I'd like to share is that I think it's really important for communities to begin to embrace this. What I've learned, Keisha, is that we can no longer rely on the criminal legal system to do this work. We have to find out how we as communities can begin to stand up and say to individuals in our community that this kind of behavior is not acceptable, and we will not tolerate it. There are consequences, and let those consequences come from that community. You know, when the boss says that it's not acceptable, when the pastor says it's not acceptable, when the principal in the school says it's not acceptable, you know, when the community comes together, it makes a difference in our lives.
Thank you so much for being here.
You're so welcome.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for tuning in to this segment of Focus Atlanta. Again, it is menstoppingviolence.org. Please take the opportunity to go to the website and see how you can help and stay tuned for more here on Focus Atlanta.